Hey everyone, hope y'all are doing well. Sorry I've waited till the last day of the week to make a video, but I've been getting busy with school and just started my culinary program, so it's pretty fun. Today I think I'm just gonna read off maybe a random fact about each state. And I do also have my electronic cigarette here. I'm not promoting smoking or anything like that, just I use it strictly for the flavor. I don't even have any nicotine in here. But I know it's a visual trigger for some people, so I hope y'all like it. Okay. Okay, so Alabama. There's a store that sells unclaimed baggage from airports. And it says anything from cameras to autographed jerseys. Alaska. A clever jokester once burned tires inside a dormant volcano to make it seem active on April Fool's Day. In Arizona, the U.S. Postal Service still uses mules to reach 2 areas. Pretty cool. In Arkansas, there's a school for the deaf, and their mascot is a leopard, so they're called the Deaf Leopards. Joke. In California, it says Hollywood was initially founded to escape Thomas Edison. Oh, okay. In Colorado, every year a town celebrates a frozen dead guy. In Connecticut, a cat was once sentenced to house arrest for terrorizing a neighborhood. It says the cat attacked an Avon representative. In Delaware, it says the state may be the real home to the city of Metropolis from Superman. Florida. Remains of a human civilization as old as the ancient Egyptians were found buried in a bog. And it says, in 1982, human bones were found in the Black Peat Bog of Wendover. They ended up being around 7,000 years old. In Georgia, it says a tree once became the legal owner of itself. Hawaii. At one U.S. post office, you can send coconuts with colorful messages throughout the mail without any sort of packaging. In Idaho, there's a small part of Yellowstone Park in which you might not be able to be convicted for a crime. In Illinois, it says the state was home to a completely different Burger King before there was the Burger King chain. And the information on that says the Burger King in the town of Mattoon actually opened before the national chain and registered a statewide trademark in 1959. They sued to be able to operate as the only Burger King in Illinois, but were foiled in court. Indiana. You can visit a partial replica to the Pyramid of Giza and Great Wall of China. In Iowa, it says the state hosts a yearly national hobo convention. And the information says since 1900, the National Hobo Convention has taken place in Britt, Iowa. King and queens are voted on by a special council, and the winners get their portraits immortalized in a painting. If you'd like to attend this year, it's taking place August 8th, so it's already passed, but yeah, maybe you can go next year. Kansas. The terrain of the entire state is actually scientifically proven to be flatter than a pancake. Interesting. There are more barrels of bourbon here than there are people. It says, according to the Kentucky Distillers Association, there are 4.7 million barrels of bourbon aging within the state, compared to 4.3 million aging within the state. Louisiana. The Louisiana State Penitentiary has a public golf course. In Maine, there's a private island off the coast of Maine currently on the market for only $40,000. It doesn't say how big the island is, but it has a picture. It doesn't look very big at all. In Maryland, Beatlemania was ignited in the U.S. by a teenage Marylander. I guess it's just a fan of the Beatles, I guess. There's no information on it. Massachusetts. Lobster was once so abundant in this state that it was given to slaves and prisoners. And the information says, the state used to have so many lobsters that they'd regularly be fed to prisoners, slaves, and other groups that usually get short shrift when it comes to food. Apparently, some professional servants even inserted a clause into their contracts that they would only be given lobsters twice a week, not wanting to eat lobsters all day, every day. It's funny because it's such a delicacy now. Michigan. A university in the state offers a license to hunt unicorns. Okay. Minnesota. A Minnesota father would only speak to his son in the Star Trek language of Klingon for the first 3 years of the child's life. Mississippi. A phantom barber once broke into people's homes and cut their hair while they were sleeping. So it says, during World War II, the town of Pascagoula was plagued by a series of mysterious nighttime haircuts. A panic erupted when girls, particularly blondes, would wake up to find that part of their hair had been cut, or in some cases, their whole heads had been shaved. Missouri. The town of Tightwad is home to the Tightwad Bank, which draws customers from across the country. Montana. Montana has a replica of the Shire from Lord of the Rings. If you'd like to stay there, it says accommodations are $295 a night. So I'm trying not to blow so hard onto the microphone there. Nebraska. The landlocked state has a navy, and anyone can receive the state's highest honor of Nebraska Admiral. Nevada. There's an Area 51 themed brothel here. It says the Alien Cat House, an Area 51 themed brothel 85 miles out of Las Vegas, is meant for those with sci-fi fantasies. New Hampshire. A group of Robin Hooders once paid expired parking meters before the tickets could be handed out. New Jersey. Napoleon allegedly resides in this state. Not too sure where that one's going. There's no information on it. I'm assuming that means his body. I'm not too sure. New Mexico. Psychologists and psychiatrists were nearly legally required to dress up as wizards when testifying in court. I'm not so sure on how true most of these are. I'm just kind of on the internet, so they can put anything they want. New York. Referring to the city as Gotham was originally supposed to be an insult. And it says the intended reference was to a medieval English story of a town named Gotham, which meant Goat's Town, and was populated by simple-minded fools. North Carolina. 2 nuclear bombs were accidentally dropped on the state. One almost detonated. That'd have been something. North Dakota. Where in North Dakota is San Diego? It's the only state-themed game in the series. I'm not sure what that is. It says North Dakota was the only state to complete a state-specific version of the classic Carmen Sandiego games. Even though 20 different states were also given the same opportunity. The game was played in North Dakota school classrooms in the 90s, but surviving copies are apparently hard to come by. Ohio. The state wasn't officially admitted into the Union until 1953 because of a technicality. It says the United States Congress failed to go through all the motions of recognizing Ohio as an official state when it was first recognized in 1803. Congress recognized the state in 1953 after the error was discovered, but decided to retroactively make the official founding date reflect the original year. Oklahoma. It says, a resident of this state is the only known person to be hit by space junk. And it says a woman was hit by space junk or debris from the U.S. Delta II rocket. Oregon. The town of Boring, Oregon has become official partners with the Scotland town of Dull. Boring and Dull. And it says the 2 sleep-inducing towns joined forces in 2013 in an attempt to increase tourism. Pennsylvania. A Norwegian musician once tried to build a new Norway in this state. Rhode Island. The White Horse Tavern is the oldest operating tavern remaining in its original building. It was built in 1652. South Carolina. There's an island full of wild monkeys off the coast. South Dakota. The world's fastest ever recorded change in temperature happened in the state when it got 49 degrees hotter in just 2 minutes. Tennessee. The band Paramore broke a decades-long Nashville curse, but were then accused of being a fake band. Texas, my home state. It says the Texas legislature once accidentally honored the Boston Strangler because they weren't paying attention to the bills they were passing. So yeah, I'm from Texas. Where are y'all from? If you want to comment, just leave it there. Utah. NASA measures space sickness using a time frame of U.S. senator from the state. It says NASA's unofficial scale for measuring motion sickness in space is called the Garn scale. Jake Garn was formerly a U.S. senator from Utah and was an astronaut on the Discovery mission, where his job was to purposely get sick for research. Garn claims he never actually threw up, though. Vermont. A giant dome was almost built over a city just north of Burlington. And it says the town of Winooski was almost covered in a giant dome when the city planners decided It might be a good way to address the town's winter energy conservation problem. Virginia. The residents of a small fishing island still talk in a dialect closely resembling Restoration English. Washington. There's a mystery soda machine here that is somehow always filled, but no one knows by whom. According to legend, nobody knows who stocks or owns the mystery Coke machine in Seattle, but it never runs out of soda. The machine appears to be from the 1970s and features a mystery button that, when chosen, spits out a random soda that isn't one of the other choices. The machine has a Facebook fan page that claims it's always open. West Virginia. According to legend, this state is home to a tall satanic figure with wings named Mothman. In the late 1960s, a couple in the town of Point Pleasant claimed they had seen a man-bird hybrid with glowing red eyes, and so the legend Mothman was born. Mothman has apparently shown up more and more over the years, so the town has immortalized the beast with a statue. Mothman was also featured in the 2002 film The Mothman Prophecies. Wisconsin. There's an upside-down replica of the White House that makes absolutely no sense. Wyoming. A whole town was built on top of an abandoned airport with the old runways serving as main roads. And it says there's a bonus. Washington, D.C. There's a Darth Vader gargoyle on the National Cathedral. To raise money for construction on the National Cathedral's West Towers during the 1980s, a contest was held for children to submit gargoyle designs to add to the construction plans. Christopher Rader won third place with his Darth Vader design, and the Sith Lord was added to the building. It's pretty cool random facts there. The reason I did this video is because I've had a couple of requests lately for just a soft-spoken video, and I didn't know what else to do it on, so yeah, why not? I think if I get some comments on here, whatever y'all want to see next, just go ahead and leave them down there. Also, like I said, I have my Facebook and Twitter set up, so y'all can definitely follow me there and talk to me or whatever y'all want to do. I hope this video was good. I'll see y'all next week.